hello, hee hee, and welcome. It's 7 o'clock. Do you know where your benchies are? They're here at the tea party. I kidnapped them. I'm sorry. I really liked them, and I wanted to hold their hands, so I took them away. You can't have them back, but you can look at them. Hi, Golden! What's up? Welcome to the tea party. All of your benches are belonging to me. Listen, I'm a little amped up today because of two reasons. One is because My Next Life is a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom got a game announcement, and I am ready! I'm ready! I love my girl Katarina Clays. We're gonna be playing that on Oto Mondays the day it comes out. I don't care if we're mid-route. We're gonna play that right away. The other thing I'm excited about is, guess who started to dig into the rabbit hole of modding Stardew Valley? This gremlin. And boy, I didn't know there was a yandere patch for Sebastian, but I am here for it. There's a lot of yandere patches. Like, a lot. There were more than I was expecting. I am ready. Yeah, you'll never see me again. Hi, Astral! Hi, Luna! Hi, guys! Welcome to Oto Monday! Okay, I guess we should probably start. I'm just gonna warn y'all, I don't remember where we left off in the walkthrough. And I need a walkthrough because when I went and checked, Kaguya has a total of 15 bad endings. Did you know? 15. 15 different bad endings that Mr. Wizard could tell me I done fucked up. So that's how that's gonna go. I have the walkthrough on my phone. We'll see how it do. But don't be surprised if Mr. Wizard shows up because the walkthrough is not wizard repellent. It's just hopefully trying to give me the right direction. I'm just dumb, and it doesn't tell you the questions, it only tells you the answers, so I have to brain math which one it is, especially if the answers are yes, no, yes, yes, no. So we'll figure it out, don't worry. We got this. But Snow is here. Look at Snow. Cute, soft baby Snow. Don't tell him I said that because he hates it. Yeah, exactly. No, yes, yes, no, yes. Sometimes, and then give him the bourbon. Okay. Previously read. That means I get to... Okay, yeah. Next scene. Oh, look at the three lads all together. Later, in the kitchen. We were all seated around the dining table. I was sitting next to Kaguya. Across from us sat Cinderella and Snow White. Now that everything's calmed down, allow me to introduce you. Snow White, this is my boyfriend Kaguya. Snow White is adorable, and I hope he's an option in the next game. I gestured energetically to Kaguya next to me. Like, she just Will Smith poses, just the... I don't know what else you call it but the Will Smith pose, so. Ta-da!
さっきとはえらい態度が変わったな。
What was my tune last week? I don't remember. Cinderella's always a grumpy grumpus. Just as Snow is always really passive. You know what they say, women are as variable as April weather. Then again, it's winter right now.
ああ、はいはい。
はいはい。
どうも、はじめまして。僕はかぐやと言います。ここには一時的に住まわせてもらってます。
His accent is as cute as ever. I love his dialect. So cute. Kaguya held his hand out held his hand out for a handshake. I can read. Cinderella is usually a funkin' bitch. Like, he's a brat.
白雪だよ。よろしく。
No, soft baby. While Snow introduced himself in kind, he did not accept the proffered hand. He didn't even meet Kaguya's gaze. In fact, he stared blatantly at the wall. I think he was talking to his shadow.
ああ、気にすんな。こいつは誰に対してもこうだから。
そうですか。
Kaguya nodded and lowered his hand. So, you're Cinderella's younger brother? This was the extent of what I knew about Snow White.
そうだね。
まあな。
Eeyore. This is actually only the second time I've met him.
そうなんや。
Yeah, other Rad's boyfriend. Yeah. I'm a little sad Gretel's not here, but I feel like that would be just overlapping the streams a bit too much since he's the other route in this game. But Gretel is the other younger brother of Cinderella in this game. In this universe. Maybe in this universe. In the previous game it was.
気まぐれでな。普段は実家にいるんだが、たまにこうしてフラッとやってくるんだよ。
Snow White glanced in Cinderella's direction, then immediately looked away.
おい、答えろよ。
Don't wanna.
まあええやん。それって帰ってくる場所があるってことやろ。
He.
帰ってくる家ね。そういや、あんた家なしだったな。
For some reason, Kaguya with his sleeve right here, it doesn't look like a sleeve. It looks like he's like holding a really thin like body pillow. And I can't stop staring at it. It just looks like he's got like a really thin body pillow. He's just kind of like tucking it against him for comfort. He got a blankie. Yes.
せやな。
You're welcome. Comfy wumpy, cozy wozy. Kaguya is toasty. Cinderella gave a non-committal grunt in response. Then, after a moment, his lip curled into a cruel smirk.
あれだろう。女癖の悪さで実家に感動でもされたか?
Yes, Cinderella, the moon disowned him because he was a womanizer.
兄ちゃん、彼女がおる前でそないなこと言わんといてや。
Is that like on the mark? Are you admitting to it? Kaguya's gaze shifted to me. I admit I'm curious, but I'm not worried about it. I'm hot shit after all. There was still a lot about him I didn't know, but I could afford to wait until he was comfortable telling me.
大人やな。
Mm-hmm. Haha, he ruffled my hair playfully. Cute.
どうしたん白雪さん。
I realized Snow White was staring at Kaguya's head.
そのお面。
His little rabbit. His little usagi. All at once, everyone looked up at Kaguya's mask.
うさぎ
Usagi.
せやで、ようわかったな。
Oh, it's a rabbit? That's cute. Wait, you didn't know Yurika even though he put that mask on us before? Like 2 episodes ago? I had thought it was a okay, that's fair. That's fair. I think B thought it was a fox too, so that's perfectly fair.
せやろ。ひいさんもうさぎさんみたいでかわええで。
Uh-oh. Aw, thanks! Okay, he was talking to me, not Snow White. I tilted my head in his direction and he ruffled my hair some more. Aww. Affection!
どうした?
別に。ただ。そのお面。
Oh, some foreshadowing.
気ぃつけるわ。
How bad are some of these bad endings? Now I'm curious. Which one of the 15 bad endings is the yandere one? In contrast with Kaguya's jovial laughter, Snow White stared back coldly. As I attempted to decipher this exchange, however, something else occurred to me. Oh, crap! I forgot about dinner!
ああ、そういやそうだな。なんかごたごたありすぎて忘れてた。
I'll get started on it now. I rose to my feet, and Kaguya followed suit.
手伝うで、ひいさん。
That'd be great. I opened the fridge and took stock of our inventory on hand. Salami, cheese, chicken, eggs, veggies.
今日は何作るん？
Feels like we haven't had something light and simple in a while. Any requests?
自分が作ってくれたもんなら何でもええよ。
That's so specific. Thank you. What about you, Cinderella? Snow?
別に何でも。
俺はいらない。
Yeah, you don't like to eat a lot. That's fair. Okay, then. Evidently, no one was opposed to me making something simple per Alice's request. Not that I'd care if they did oppose it. Not that Alice deserves to have any requests when he's being a big ol' stinky! Still, the idea of making something like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner bored me to tears. If Alice knew I felt that way, he'd scoff and call me a diva. Folding my arms, I contemplated tonight's menu.
どないしたん？
I want to make something simple, but I don't know what. What's something that's simple and classy and that I could make from scratch?
さっぱりして。
You know, he's just gonna find another reason to complain about
せ
it.
やな。
You could do something specifically to his request, like down to the finest detail, and he'd still find a reason to bitch.
ほんなら海鮮丼でもええんちゃう？
Bitch sticks! That's perfect! I snapped my fingers. Pew pew pew! Finger guns! Fish sticks were simple on their own, but I could spice things up by making a few fancy dipping sauces.
ほんまによかったわ。
Oh, but dang, we don't have any fish. Chicken strips!
僕買ってこようか？
I'll come with you. Okay, we're gonna go with fish. Never mind. Cinderella, would you mind if we ran out to the store real quick?
おお、あんまゆっくりしすぎて。
Shopping
今度こそ
episode!
本当にやらかさねえようにね。
Jesus. He smirked at me as he leaned against his chair. I shoved the rest of his chair back so he would fall on his head. Ooh, okay. Luckily, Yurika in this route is so innocent she does not get the joke. Oh, nope, there we go. At first I didn't get it, but then the innuendo sank in. Yeah, see, yeah. If I was in person, I would have flipped him, chair and all, into the wall. I react violently. Oh, hi. Okay, never mind. I guess Kaguya would have stopped me. In retaliation, I raised my fist, but Kaguya grabbed my arm to stop me. Okay, well, he knows I'm violent. Let's go, Kaguya. Shut the fuck up.
まあまあひいさん。ほら、あよ行こう。な。
Fine. You watch your back, Cindy. I'll get you later. And so he dragged me outside. Ugh, I'm so humiliated. I didn't need a mirror to know how my face was beet red.
まあ僕が言うもなんやけど、あんま気にせん方がええって。シンデレラさんかて意地悪しよう思うたんやなくて、自分のことを心配してあんなに言うたんやで。
He sure shows a fucking weird way. He has a weird way of showing it. I can't words today. What is with my brain? I can't brain today. I know.
よしよし。
He gently stroked my hair as I slumped my shoulders. Cute. After a moment, I straightened myself up and looked over at him.
どないしたん？
Oh! Yay! Since it's specific, I can find out exactly where I am in the walkthrough. Alright. We're gonna ask about his lip. Which I would have done anyway, because he got decked earlier. How's your lip? I started to reach out to touch it, then stopped myself.
平気平気。
Grinning, Kaguya waved a hand dismissively. You sure? That punch was pretty recent.
せやな。 まあ僕が悪いんやし。
Why don't you ever stand up for yourself?
What?
All these people keep hitting you, but you never fight back. You never protest. You just take it. Granted, I'm not saying you should fight back, but it just worries me sometimes. I don't want you to bottle it up. I was doing so good. I don't want you to bottle it all up inside.
ヒーさんは優しいな。
No, I'm not. But I am your girlfriend, so it's only natural that I worry about you. Kaguya's eyes widened and he smiled softly. I let out a sad sigh. Feels like you got me wrapped around your little finger.
そうかな。
I do. I stopped short, and Kaguya followed suit. Then, clasping my hands in front of me, I turned to face him, my head tilted. I gotta be honest, I'd much rather have you wrapped around my finger. That's what I'm used to.
知っとるで。
Boo. I was still in the honeymoon phase of the relationship, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world.
ヒーさん。で、つなご。
Hold my hand. Yes, sure, yes, good. I took his proffered hand and we set off. Now it felt like a date. The winter the winter air felt nice and cool against my flesh skin. I promise I know how to read. The moon really looks pretty tonight.
いやいや
Shh. Shh. Will Ferrell isn't here. Hush. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Looking at the moon reminded me. Have you heard of the rabbit who lives on the moon?
うさぎさん。
Yeah, the rabbit who lives on the moon. Didn't you know, Mr. Mysterious Moon Man with the rabbit mask? I'm just saying. He's gonna return back to the moon. Yeah, don't you see him up there?
おー、見えへんな。ヒーさんには見えるん？
No, I guess it's kind of hard to see it from here. Maybe it's because the moon's so far away, or maybe it's all the light pollution. But centuries ago, our ancestors could see an outline of a rabbit making rice cakes, or so they say.
ぺったんぺったん？
Yep. Though I have to wonder why a rabbit would want to make rice cakes.
やっぱ食べるんちゃう？おいしいし。
You like rice cakes?
好きやで。
Interesting. Having acquired an exciting new piece of info, I fist pumped internally. Score. So, while we're on the subject of rabbits,
この麺？
yeah, maybe you're a rabbit too.
僕がウサギさんやったらいつか月に帰ってまう。
You can't see it, but my hand's pointing at the screen. He's gonna go back to the moon. He's gonna go back to the moon. I've been saying it this whole time. He's gonna go back to the moon. He's gonna go back to the moon. I'm not joking. He lives on the moon. He lives there. And if I called it, Yuzu's not telling me because Yuzu never tells me because she wants to see how I react when I find out. If you tried that, I'd do everything in my power to stop you. And I mean everything. Yeah, take me with you to the moon.
ヒーさんは僕を引き止めてくれるんや。
No, just take me with you. Darn right. Okay, I mean, I guess I'd stop him. Maybe I become the yandere and lock him in the birdcage in the cabin in the woods.
そっか。ヒーさんにはかなわんな。
Sure, maybe Kaguya was just joking around, but to me, it felt like maybe he kind of meant it. He seemed so unassuming at first glance, but deep down, he was an enigma, constantly threatening to slip away into the night. And boy do I know it because we fucked up early in his route.
なあなあヒーさん。 知っとる？
What is it? I flinched, startled from my
う
thoughts.
さぎさんはな、耳が長くてどんなに遠くの声でも聞こえるんやで。
I blinked and tilted my head. It can?
せやな。聞かれたくない内緒話なんてのはお手のもんやな。
What is... Ah, okay. This is the answer. That must be really hard.
どっちが？
For the rabbit, of course. The secret teller will never find out that they were overheard unless you tell them, but the eavesdropper has to live with that knowledge forever. That's why people keep secrets at all, because that knowledge... Yeah, that's why people keep secrets at all, because that knowledge can never be revoked. And on top of that, the rabbit can't choose not to hear it, right?
せやな。
Which makes it even worse, since a lot of secrets are malicious in nature. Even if that malicious intent is directed at someone else and not them personally, that doesn't make it pleasant to hear. The moment you heard it, you'd cast judgment on the secret teller and fall into despair.
絶望？
Yeah. I imagine the rabbit would come to hate himself.
なんで？
He'd realize he carried those very same dark thoughts within himself. Put simply, he'd realize he was no different from the secret tellers he so reviled. Reveal? I don't know. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Excuse me. I bonked my cup. At that point, I'd start plugging my ears or something.
ひいさんはうさぎさんの気持ちがわかるんや
He's
な。
the rabbit! I can't know for sure how other people feel, but I can at least imagine it. The social code dictates treat others as you wish to be treated, but even then, there's no guarantee they want to be treated that way. Since we can't know what the other person is thinking, we have to observe them and make an educated guess.
そのための会話。
Sonotori! I shot him with the finger guns. Pew 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 pew! Bang bang!
でも、うさぎさんは喋らへんで。
Sure, but there are other ways of expressing yourself.
例えば、
Well, there's body language and facial expressions.
うさぎさんは無表情やで。
Or maybe we just think they don't. Maybe we just need to spend more time with them to recognize them. Besides, you never know. They might write letters like we do.
交換日記。
Exactly. And speaking of which, Kaguya, it's your turn tonight.
うん、せやな。ちゃんと覚えとるで。
The exchange diary is so freaking cute. He stopped short to stroke my hair.
僕、ひいさんに会えて、ほんまよかったわ。
Well, that was random.
突然ちゅうか、いつも思ってることやで。
So cute.
ひいさんが可愛すぎて可愛すぎて、どんどん好きが募っていくみたいや。
I'm glad I met you too.
おおきに。
I closed my eyes and gave myself over to the feeling of his palm against my hair, almost like I was a bunny. When at last the warmth of his hand pulled away, I slowly opened my eyes once more. There, I found Kaguya gazing tenderly back at me. Instantly, I thought back to last night and trembled. Somehow I was embarrassed, happy, and a tiny bit fearful all at once. Just then...
店員さん、
Oh, is it the guy from the start? Oh god! That's like when I get off work and I immediately answer like a personal phone call with the answering for work. Just like, thanks for calling, how can I help you? Wait. Come on in! I was so startled by the familiar voice, I straightened my posture and blurted out a response, reflexively slipping into work mode. Oops. When I turned around, I found one of the cafe regulars standing there. That would explain why my brain defaulted to, come on in, of all things.
こんばんは。こんなところで会うなんて偶然だね。今日の
Oh, sorry. Yep, I just got off work. What about you? Are you on your way home? It would have been rude to blow him off, so I decided to make small talk. Smiling stiffly, his gaze wandered to Kaguya beside me.
彼は
Oh, this is... I tried to answer, but Kaguya stopped me.
僕は数日前から彼女と同じ喫茶店で働かせてもらってます。
Oh.
家具屋っちゅうもんです。お客さんはうちによく来てくれるお客さんやんな。今後ともよろしゅうお願いします。
ああ、そうなんだ。ここのところ忙しくて行けなかったから。
Oh, keeping secrets from Mr. Customer.
そうですか。ぜひまた来てくれると嬉しいです。まあ。
Right. I smiled to hide my internal conflict. Oops. After we parted ways with the regular, we walked in silence for a while. How come... I wanted to ask, how come you didn't introduce yourself as my boyfriend, but the words wouldn't come. I knew he had intentionally avoided the subject in order to keep things professional, but I would have liked him to be at least a little protective of me around other guys.
あ、ひいさん、お魚屋さんやで。
Fish! Let's just forget about it and go get fish sticks. He changed the subject with eerily apt timing. Not amped, apt. Let's get in and get out quickly so Cinderella doesn't make any more creepy jokes when we get back. And so I forced myself to let it go. And then he let go, and then I let go, and we are both let go. That was Cinderella's reaction to his first fish stick. How is it? I stopped eating and looked at him expectantly.
うまい。お茶漬けなんて貧乏臭いと思ってたけど、たまにはこういうのもいいな。
Yes! Glad to hear it. They're so light and crunchy. Thus far, I'd been making a lot of intricate dishes, so it was nice to have a more lazy dinner for a change. All thanks to Kaguya and Alice for giving me the idea.
いやいや、僕は特に何もしとらんし、どっちかっちゅうと、文句を言ってたアリス君の方がお手柄なんとちゃうん？
I wouldn't call it feedback, I'd call it verbal abuse, but yeah, sure. Wait, what? How did you know about that? Then it hit me. Oh god, you heard everything?
俺がこいつをぶん殴った時に、そっちはそっちで大盛り上がりだったな。
Ugh. Embarrassed, I buried my face in my hands. Honestly, I should have known they would have heard us, given how loud Alice was screaming. Wait, does that mean they all heard me whimpering and groaning too? Wait,
こ
what?
っちは真剣な話してんのに、お気楽なもんだよなとか、あの時は思ったな。ま、勘違いだったわけだけど。
Shut the fuck up, you bitch. No laughing at the dinner table! I'm gonna kick you. God. I pouted at him. Then I glanced over at Kaguya and realized he wasn't eating. Do you not like it, Kaguya?
そないなことないで。めっちゃ美味しいわ。
And yet he's barely eaten any of it. You don't have to force yourself to eat it, you know.
ああ、ちゃうねん。
何が違うんだよ。元はといえばお前の案だろ。
せやな。
あのな、 そのヘラヘラヘラヘラすんのやめろ。
兄ちゃん厳しいな。
誰が兄ちゃんだ？
At the rate we were headed, Cinderella was only getting more furious. Oh, okay. I need to make a save here for one of the 15 bad endings. Lock it because it's a choice. Okay. And now we change the subject. I immediately change the subject! Like, I don't actually change the subject. I just, like, throw my hand up. I'm like, okay, we're changing the subject! And then don't say anything else. And they look at me like, what's the subject then? I don't know, you think of it. Anyway, so is Snow White really not going to eat with us?
ああ、あいつはな、食わねえんだよ。
And he hasn't starved to death somehow?
一応生きてるから死なねえんだろ。
Is it because he's a doll? Is he like actually a doll? Is he a ball jointed doll that came to life? Like in, what was it? Nameless? Oh god, I haven't thought about Nameless in so long. It was such a good otome. Okay, but seriously though, how has he survived without eating? I turned to Kaguya as to include him in the conversation.
おおきにな、ひいさん。
Huh?
ほんま、こんなに美味しいもん食べへんなんてもったいないと思うわ。
まあな。
What?
せやけど、食べられへん気持ちも少しわかるかな。
What? How so?
置かせてもらってる身なのに、ご飯まで用意してもらって迷惑やないんかなとか。
Oops.
その理屈でいくと、せっかく用意されたご飯を食べ残すのも悪いとかにもなるんじゃねえの。
Haha, he deflects with logic.
そうかも知らんな。まあ、白雪くんには白雪くんなりの事情があると思うね。せやから、あんま気にせんと放っといたらええんちゃう？
ふん。ごちそうさん。
As soon as he finished his dinner, Cinderella rose to his feet. What about dessert?
んじゃ、後で部屋に持ってこい。
Oh god, okay. かしこまりました、ご主人様。My brain can't process that many letters at once. I saw him off with a firm salute. I probably could have read it easier if it was in hiragana. I don't know why, but I would. As it feels like less. Now it was just the two of us, with nothing to talk about. We continued eating in silence. Once I finished, I stacked my plate on top of Cinderella's. I glanced over at Kaguya to find him still slowly working through his food. Was he always such a slow eater? I thought back to all the other meals I'd shared with him. All I could remember was that he'd always complimented the taste, no matter what he ate. Whenever I asked him for specific requests, he'd shrug his shoulders, just as he did tonight. But when I asked him to help me brainstorm something simple, only then did he suggest fish sticks. And now that he was eating said fish sticks, he was progressing more slowly than ever. As I watched him, a thought occurred to me. Hey, Kaguya.
Hmm?
Do you like fish sticks?
好きやで。
Believe it or not, he actually seemed a bit bashful about it. There's enough for you to have seconds, you know.
ああ。おおきに。
Oh, was he trying to make it last because he liked him a lot? Oh, sorry, there's no need to be shy. I got distracted. He stopped eating. What is it this time? Was it something I said? Or is he the kind of person who can't eat when someone else is watching? I thought about it for a moment and then decided to clear away the empty plates. Humming to myself to keep the mood light, I began washing dishes in the sink. After a moment, I heard him start eating again. Aha, she's learning his habits. In spite of my relief, I felt guilty that I'd made him uncomfortable.
ごめんな。
Oh, baby. Huh? His voice was barely audible. Why would he apologize? Had he wronged me in any way? I turned to find him standing there, holding his empty plate. You don't want seconds? Okay then, I'll wash it for you. Go ahead and have a seat.
僕も洗うの手伝うわ。
He rolled up his long sleeves, and that was when I saw it. The dark red lines that ran across his arm like scratch marks. Oh? And I knew what they were. But before I could say anything, he unrolled his sleeves again. Kaguya?
猫に引っかかれて。
Kaguya? I hadn't asked for an explanation, but he gave me one regardless. Meanwhile, I thought back over our history together. It only took a few seconds to arrive at a conclusion, either because I didn't have many memories to review, or because I'd always felt something was off with him. Kaguya, can I ask you something? Oh. Okay, I have to save here. This one. By any chance, do you have amnesia? Oh, and that was the scene. Okay, end scene. Once upon a time, in the Looking-Glass world, there lived a peculiar young man named Kaguya. He was blessed with mysterious charm, such that all the women in the world, rich or poor, fell head over heels for him. Why would they feel so strongly for him, you ask? Naturally, his good looks were part of the reason, but more than that, it was his kindness. He was always smiling warmly, and he seemed to understand people better than anyone, even themselves. You see, Kaguya never made any selfish demands. No matter how afraid he felt, no matter how much he suffered, he always kept a smile on his face. He could never reject the ladies who wanted him. And so his list of lovers grew. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why, there were too many girls to count. But none of these relationships lasted very long. Each girlfriend started off madly in love with him, but would inevitably break things off in just a short time later. And Kaguya would accept their feelings without protest. He never talked about himself, either. Why, you ask? Because... Because he has amnesia. He doesn't know himself. I asked him if he had amnesia, and his response was yes.
僕な、記憶があらへんねん。今まで自分が何してたんか、自分がほんま何者なのか覚えとらんのや。
Well, now, that's a huge, important revelation. And yet his tone was completely casual. Frankly, I would have liked it if he told me this up front. Wait, but then how about the lady who dumped you at the cafe?
あの子は、僕がふらふらとその辺を歩いとった時に、久しぶりちゅうて声かけられて、話聞いてみたら、僕と付き合うてたみたいで、記憶があらへんことを正直に話したんやけど。
And she didn't believe you.
冗談やと思われたな。
Now it all makes sense. The reason Kaguya hadn't stood up for himself was because he couldn't remember dating these women in the first place. That and his natural passive personality didn't help. What about your name? Are you sure it's Kaguya?
それは他の人が僕のことをかぐや言うから、ああ僕はかぐやなんやと思っただけで。
Oh. It was also surreal, like I was reading a romance novel that suddenly pivoted into suspense. Then again, I suppose a lot of suspense novels have elements of romance in them, so maybe the inverse wasn't that far-fetched.
やっぱ信じられへんよな。
No, I believe you. What are you talking about? Of course I believe you. I gave him a look that said, who do you think you're talking to? I was supposed to save before that. Oops. His eyes widened. I'm the one who put... blah, 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 blah. I'm the one. I'm the one who speak the words. I'm the one who put 2 and 2 together, you know. And are you really that surprised?
まあそうかもしれんけどなんで
Are you asking how I figured out you had amnesia?
うん
Well, at first I thought maybe you could read minds, but that wasn't very realistic. Then I thought you were from the moon, and I feel kind of silly. Granted, part of the reason you're so incredibly perceptive is undoubtedly your careful nature, but I suspected you were more focused on yourself.
関心
Put simply, I'm referring to your self-awareness. Awareness of yourself. Awareness of the difference between yourself and others. Self-identification. The ability to recognize yourself. Let me guess. You constantly wonder to yourself, what does this person think of me? How will they react if I say XYZ? You're interested in other people because they interact with someone you're dying to know more about. Yourself. Oh, but to be clear, I'm not saying you shouldn't act this way. There's nothing wrong with it. Everyone does it to some degree. But in your case, I think you do it a bit excessively. Of course, if it was just that, we could call you self-conscious and be done with it. But in your case, you're a little too good at reading people. Your intuition is too powerful. Granted, plenty of people are hyper-focused on the normal people... are hyper-focused on the people around them, but that doesn't mean they aren't self-centered. No, they just lack the confidence to express it. As unstable as they may be, they have a firm sense of self. What bothers them is the inconsistency between how others view them and how they view themselves. This sort of person tends to let their imagination run wild. Oh, this person must think XYZ, and so on. They make a lot of misguided assumptions. But in your case, you don't make any assumptions, right or wrong. You don't try to read into anyone's behavior, you just sincerely want to know what they think of you. And that makes me think that maybe you're searching for clues about yourself. That's not all either. You always default to other people's opinions. You're completely passive, but it's not that you lack confidence, you simply don't know what your personal opinion actually is. And that's how I decided you might have amnesia.
ひいさんは頭がええな。
You can call me Detective T.
ひいさんは僕のことを気持ち悪く思わへんの？
What? Why would it? I stared back blankly, baffled by the question.
自分が何者かようわからん男なんてキモいやろ。
What? No, not at all. Why would you make me uncomfortable? You're my boyfriend.
せやけど僕は今までひいさんを裏切ってたわけやし。
Could he be lying about his feelings for me? The thought made my chest tighten. After a long silence, I spoke up again. Kaguya.
うん
Hold on, I missed a save spot, so we're just gonna... I'm gonna pet him. I stroke his hair. How about little head pats for the boy? Silently, I gazed into his eyes.
ひいさん
Pat, pat. As I reached out, Kaguya flinched slightly. I offered him a reassuring smile. There, there. That's a good boy. And stroked his hair. He didn't try to stop me. As I ran my palm over his head, I stared directly into his eyes. Like the moon, they seemed to shine. Normally, you're the one who does this to me, but now it's your turn. How is it? Nice, isn't it?
せやな。
I thought so. I ran my hand over his head one more time and then pulled him into a big hug. I can't imagine how hard it must be for you. Lying in bed, I organized my thoughts. Amnesia, a state in which one has lost their memories, the whole who are you, who am I shtick. The formal term is retrograde amnesia, which includes both full and partial amnesia. Full amnesia is when someone can't remember anything except their name, and partial amnesia is when there's a mix of things they can and can't remember. Thus, Kaguya's amnesia would be categorized as full amnesia. As a side note, they would say the majority of amnesia cases are psychological in origin. Surprising, isn't it? In fiction, it's usually the result of blunt force trauma, like a nasty blow to the head. But amnesia caused by physical trauma, in the rare cases in which it occurs, only lasts for a short time following the initial injury. When severe pain is inflicted on a person, their instinctive reaction is to escape. I want to get out of here. I never want to think about this again. I want to bury it all. Amnesia is caused by the conscious mind escaping from that sort of psychological stress. In other words, it's a defense mechanism. They forget in order to protect their bodies and minds so they won't break. I ruminated on this further. What does it mean to lose your memories? It must feel so very surreal, existing in the present while some other version of you exists somewhere else. If I lost my memories to the point that I didn't know who or where I was anymore, how would I react? How would it feel if a stranger reached out and tried to cheer me up? I would probably be overwhelmed with fear and inexplicable repulsion. The entire world around me would seem so frightening, I'd probably want to run away. I'll go check on him. Following a spike in my anxiety, I decided to pay a visit to Kaguya's room. But it was the middle of the night, when everyone was supposed to be asleep. What if he's already gone?
ちゃんとおるで。安心しいや。
Ah, thank goodness. Kaguya! Oh, yeah, sorry. He pressed his index finger to his lips, and I clapped both my hands over my mouth. It's impossible for me to not worry. Anytime I take my eyes off you, it feels like you might just vanish into thin air. Did I wake you, or were you awake already? Sorry, I'm liar. You've got a serious case of bedhead.
ほんまどこ？
He touched his hair. Nowhere, I was lying.
やと思った。
Can I come in?
僕はええけど。
Ah, that's against the rules! Gazing at me, he cocked his head.
シンデレラさんとの約束はどないする？
Oh, crap. I'd completely forgotten about our agreement. It was Cinderella's way of looking out for us and making sure we didn't skip any more steps on the staircase, as it were. No, I'm still gonna go. Pardon the intrusion. I walked straight into his room without hesitation. If it was for my beloved, I'd break my promises to other people at the drop of a hat. Oh, and don't worry, if Cinderella catches us, I'll take all the blame. Or maybe we could run away together, just the two of us. I was joking, but at the same time, I was a little bit serious.
それもええかもしれんな。
With a giggle, I glanced around. This was my first time in his room, and it was very well kept. The bed was perfectly made, without a single wrinkle in the sheets or stray hair on the pillow.
ちゃんと寝とるから安心しいや。
Awkward. Felt like I was trying to play adultery detective or something. I plopped myself down on the spotless bed. This was the part where I was supposed to look up at him and whisper sweet seduction until he threw himself at me. Fancy a bed with me tonight? I was trying to be cute, but for some reason, my voice came out in a cringy imitation of his accent.
僕はええけど、ひいさんは
Stop. Don't say it. I'm really nervous, okay? My whole body felt like it was on fire. It's so cute. Kaguya. He pressed a hand over my mouth. It was all on the spur of the moment, I'm sure, but now he was leaning over me. On the bed. Almost like,
こういうのを呼ばいって言うんかな。ひいさんのエッチ。
I smacked his chest.
すまんすまん、堪忍してえな。
Still hovering over me, he started to stroke my hair. Meanwhile, I was dying of embarrassment.
なんでこないなことするか教えて。
Well, I was scared you were going to turn around and ghost me.
僕がひいさんの前から
Yeah.
そないなことあらへんよ。かわいいかわいい僕の彼女を置いていくはず。
Liar. That's not gonna work on me.
名探偵やもんな。
That's right. You do want to find out more about yourself, don't you?
どないやろな。まあでも知らん方がええかもしれんな。僕女の子に節操ないみたいやし。
I burst out laughing in spite of myself. Sorry.
いや謝らんでええよ。浮気は良くないっちゅうんは僕も分かっとるし。
But on the other hand, wouldn't it be a lot easier to learn more about yourself if you just asked those same girls? His gaze drifted to his arm, to the faded scars etched into his wrist. His eyes narrowed bitterly.
これ自傷行為って言うんやろ。僕は自分を傷つけるほど自分のことが嫌いやったんやろなって。せやから僕が今記憶があらへんのは偶然やなくて必然なんやろなって思ってる。
But don't you think your family's worried about you?
どないやろ。僕に家族がいて僕を心配してるんなら。
He raised his eyes back to mine.
ひいさんは僕に記憶を取り戻してほしい。
You're asking me?
ほら僕主体性が欠如してる人間やし。
Touche. You want Kaguya to get his memories back. The answer will surprise you. I mean, I want him to have his memories back anyway, so it works out in my favor. Yes, I want you to get them back, but not for me, for you.
僕のため。
Yeah, I understand you might not want to remember, but still.
僕が僕で亡くなったとしても。
His lips were smiling, but his eyes weren't.
記憶を取り戻したら今の僕はどうなるんかな。
This is a reflection of the start of the game for the prologue.
今の僕は記憶がない僕であって本当の僕は今の僕と全然違うのかもしれん。
Kaguya. His eyes, amber like the harvest moon, pulled me in.
僕な、ひいさんとおると楽やねん。自分は僕のことを知らんやろ。で、僕も自分のことを知らんねん。せやけど、それは当たり前のことやろ。僕たちは会うたばかりなんやからな。ひいさんなら、わけのわからんまま抱きついてきたり、怒ったり、泣きついたり。ひいさんは、今の僕を見てくれる。たとえ、僕が僕でなくなったとしても。
Wow. Heavy. Okay, just pop another save there. But the answer is still yes. Yes. I answered without hesitation. Just only hesitation long enough to save my game. Even if the new him wouldn't want me anymore, I still wanted him to get his memories back. I didn't want his real self, the self he'd forgotten, to disappear. Even if it changes who you are right now, I still want you to regain your memories.
君を傷つけることになっても。
Don't worry, I'm stronger than you think. I wrapped my arms around his neck and gazed into his eyes. You can get a little rough with me. I won't break. You have nothing to be afraid of. Whenever you're feeling sad or upset, I'll be right there to hug you or hold your hand. I'll accept you, no matter what. So I want you to show me who you really are. Can you do that for me?
別にダメやないよ。
Let's get your memories back, together. He is now all the way on top of me.
僕もひいさんがええならええよ。
God. He is whispering in my ear. Whew. Got a little close there, but... Where am I? White walls, white sheets. Everything in this tiny little room is white. What am I doing here? I don't understand. How long have I been here? I wanted to ask someone, but no one was around. My only option was to try and remember. As I waded through my sluggish mind, all of a sudden, I heard the rattle of a film projector. Oh. I looked up to find black and white images projected onto the wall. Images of a boy wearing a mask and looking up at the full moon. Who is that? When was this taken? It's Kaguya. It's Kaguya before he went to the moon! Excuse me, I need a little sippy sip of some drink. Okay. It was raining outside. Meanwhile, I sat perfectly still. My legs had gone numb, but they told me I needed to sit here and stay quiet, and I had no choice but to obey. Where am I? All my hazy mind could offer was that I was in some Eastern-style house. On the far side of the room was a tiny altar with a few flowers and a framed photograph of a beautiful woman. For some reason, all the adults around me were wearing black from head to toe. Oh, it was a funeral. As we sat there, I could hear them talking about someone. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but their voices carried over the sound of the rain, and I couldn't escape it.
かわいそうにまだこんな小さいのに虐待されてたんでしょ。何度も警察が来ていたみたい。まあそう。
I had no idea who they were talking about, but apparently some lady was abusing her young son and then she died. Poor kid. As with everyone else in the room, I felt sorry for him. Then I looked down at my hands and noticed how bony they were. Come to think of it, why am I so hungry? When I looked up, I found the adults all looking at me. I flinched and straightened up. I needed to do as I was told, or else I was a bad kid, and I didn't want them to yell at me.
あの子どうするの？うちは2人もいるし、無理よ。そんなのうちだって困るわ。
Oh boy, one of these situations.
うちだって迷惑よ。うちには年頃の娘もいるし、何か間違いでもあったらと思うと、それにほら、あの子だって本当に私たちと血がつながってるかわからないって言うじゃない？まあ確かにね。まったく迷惑なことになったわね。
The rain poured down in thick sheets, drowning out the voices. That's fucking rude. Someone take care of this child. Give him all the love he deserves. The next morning... Oh no, I woke up in Kaguya's room. Oops! The next morning, I awoke to find Kaguya beside me.
おはよう、ひいさん。
Ohayo, Kaguya.
お
Morning. I dove under the blanket. Okay, so she was freaking out.
こらこら、起きなあかんで。
Ugh. He whipped the blanket right off my bed, right off the bed. No.
ごめんな。僕ももうちょっと寝かせてあげたいんやけど。
He fixed me with a guilty look. Meanwhile, the morning sun streamed in through the window and illuminated his face for a bonus of plus 30% handsomeness. No, that's okay. Thanks for waking me. I fidgeted. Admittedly, I was a little embarrassed to see my handsome, glowing boyfriend fresh out of bed first thing in the morning. Wait, why is it so bright? Something felt extremely off. Then, after a long pause, I overslept! I sprang upright.
大丈夫やで、ひいさん。朝の支度は全部僕がやっといたわ。
All of it?
うん。
The cleaning? The laundry? Setting up the cafe?
掃除も洗濯も店の準備も。ついでに朝食も作っといたで。
Huh? I was so shocked I could only open and close my mouth like a goldfish. The words were stuck in my throat. I'm so sorry! I buried my face in my hands. Words cannot describe how unbelievably pathetic I felt.
別にええって。ひいさんぐっすりと眠っとったし。せやから僕が全部やったろう思ってな。
Yes, I admit it. While I was the one who came into the room and asked him to share a bed with me, I then got so nervous that I promptly passed out. The last thing I could remember was lying there in his arms, being extremely tense, and then... Zilch. So, just for the record, did we...
別にエッチなことはしてへんよ。僕もブレーキは踏めるつもりやし。
Oh, cool. Thanks for being so, considerate. Thanks for being, you know, a decent human being. I was actually surprised at the lack of sexy times. He's not gonna do it while you're unconscious, you dimwit. You can get a little rough with me. I won't break, she says. Good grief. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
ええやん別に。僕はひいさんの可愛い寝顔見れて幸せやったし。
I didn't drool, did I?
垂れてない垂れてない。
Did I snore?
書いてない書いてない。
That's a lie. Did I sleep with my eyes open?
あ、それは
I did?
冗談やって。
I love that that's the one he messed with. Ugh. Even without a mirror handy, I could tell my hair was probably, no, almost certainly a total mess. It took me a solid 15 minutes to style my usual curls each morning.
大丈夫やって。ひいさんはめっちゃ可愛い。
As he spoke, he stroked my hair.
ああ、せや。これ、ひいさんの番やで。
Oh, yeah. He handed me the exchange diary like it was an afterthought. Thanks.
うん。ほな、ひいさん。起きて顔洗って、歯磨いて、着替えや。
Okay.
あんま遅いと、シンデレラさんが様子見にこっち来るで。
I opened the door and Cinderella's already there. What?
あんな、下でひいさんが来るのをみんな待っとんねん。
And so I got ready faster than I'd ever gotten ready in my entire life. Pachoo! Whew. I patted down my thick, poofy hair. Having donned my uniform, I set about throwing it into a quick braid, but hadn't brushed the tangles out, so it was messy. When I walked into the kitchen, Cinderella took one look at me and burst out laughing, but as a result, he didn't grill me for oversleeping.
ごめんな。僕が気利かせてもっと早く起こしたれば。
No, that's okay. It was my fault for sleeping through my alarm. Hi, Queen! Welcome! Thank you for joining! Or Queen or Emma, which do you prefer? Or just Queen Emma? Or should I just call you Your Majesty? Welcome! Welcome to tea time! By the way, Kaguya, do you remember what we decided last night? I'm good. I'm having fun with fictional pretty people for flirting. How about you? How's your day? How are you doing?
記憶を取り戻すっちゅうやつ?
Yes, exactly. I want to start hunting for clues as soon as we can.
わかった。ほんならどないしようか。昼は仕事やし、夜に行動するしかあらへんやんな。
Oh, good on you. I hope work wasn't too terrible. You did a good job today, and I'm proud of you. Sounds good. Are you cool with me keeping you to myself tonight?
朝も昼も夜も
Hell yeah.
僕はひいさんのもんやで。
Good grief. In spite of my embarrassment, I held out my arms for a hug. Oh.
何やってるの?
Oops.
はいはい。
No, I didn't get a hug. Summoned by a customer, Kagu Bear left my side. With no one to greet them, my arms slowly dropped.
おう、せや。ひいさん、ひいさん。
Huh.
ちょっとこっちに来てくれへん?
Hmm? Standing in the dining area, he turned back and beckoned me over like he just remembered something. Okay, I'm coming. What's up? I sped over to him and he pulled me into his arms. Yay, I got my hug!
You.
Cute! A few weeks? Oh god, I don't remember exactly how long. Oh my goodness, I don't know. A month or so? I have no idea. I would have to like look. I have no sense of time. But it's been at least like a month or so, I think, because I've gotten through the first Taisho Alice, and then now we're on the second route of 2. It's been at least enough for a couple months, because I've gone through a few episodes or a few games, so maybe 2 or 3. Ugh, I need to actually look that now. I need to figure out when I started for anniversary purposes and stuff for next year. That's a good question. Thank you, I appreciate it. I mostly just started doing this so my friends would have a way to watch me play any games that we all wanted to share, and then it just turned into this, and now I share with anyone who wants to hang out and have fun. So please enjoy while you're here, and if not, you know, I hope you enjoy anything you find in the future. It's all good. We're all here for good vibes. Hehe, yeah. I do have, I am gonna start doing, I think, some random stuff on Fridays instead of Final Fantasy 14, just to kind of have something that's just like different every time. So I have a couple of different games I might put in the Discord server later, Yar, for everyone to vote on for what we want to maybe do. But I think this Friday is going to be Paparazzi because I forgot I had it and it's cute. Okay. Anyways, meanwhile, I could hear girls squealing in the background. Kagu Bear? No, I actually didn't hire anyone for my channel. I did everything myself. I drew all of my stuffs. It took me forever to figure out what I was doing, but I did it. When our eyes met, he shot me a wink.
僕はひいさんのもんやーって言うたやろ。
Oh, cute. He asserted dominance. He asserted my dominance in front of all the other girls. Oh, thank you. I am currently working on a revamp for the outfit, so I'll have new art eventually. I'm just being lazy about coloring it all. Kaguya is also very cute. Yes, indeed. But yeah, I am working on some new stuff. It's just taking me forever to finish it up. Later that night, after we closed up shop and got dinner prepped, I stepped out into the night, holding a picnic basket in one hand and Kaguya's hand in the other. You can't keep doing that stuff in public, you goof.
あんなことって
You know what I mean. Showing me off to people and rubbing it in their faces.
ハグ
No, not just the hug. The hug was fine. Not the hug. The hug was fine. Hug me anytime you want. Also hold my hand. Continue to hold my hand. Don't ever let go of my hand. After all, a hug was a little more than a greeting. Non-verbal communication. But Kaguya cocked his head like he couldn't fathom what I was talking about.
怒ってる
Oh, I'm upset all right.
笑ってるやん
Disregard that. But though I cleared my throat, I couldn't wipe the smirk off my face. So, anyway, my point is, you can't be so provocative in front of the lady customers. Oh, okay. To keep a straight face, I pinched my own cheeks as I spoke. Especially now while we're on the clock.
ごめんな
The uwu voice. He stroked my hair. Yay!
ひいさん顔真っ赤やで
No, it's pink. My face. This is what my normal face is. That's because I pinched it real hard. Maybe a little too hard, actually. My cheeks smarted even after I let go. Of course, that was the only reason my face was flushed. That wasn't the only reason my face was flushed, but still.
でこれからどうするん
Oops, sorry. First, let's start with the police station. Maybe someone submitted a missing persons report for you.
出されてなかったら
Then let's look for your exes.
僕の元カノ
Yeah, your exes ought to know more about you than some random person on the street. We've already met two thus far, so it should be a piece of cake. I raised a fist in determination.
僕はけど
He gazed at me probingly. Relax, it's fine. I took his hand. You'll be fine. I'll protect you.
守るって何から
After a moment of hesitation, I answered, I'll, make sure they don't hit you? Kaguya chuckled and squeezed my hand in return.
そんじゃあよろしゅうな、ひいさん。
Well, we started things on the right foot, but I guess it takes more than just having the right mindset, huh?
せやな。
In the end, there were no missing person reports filed for Kaguya. Why the Marines trying to... Oh, the Twitch ads. Is that the ad you got? That's funny. That's totally fair. It doesn't alert me when the commercials and stuff pop up, so I apologize for the ads, but gotta make that money. The Marines are just trying to recruit you because they know how good you are, but they can't afford you. Yeah, in the end, there were no missing persons reports for Kaguya. So we asked them to let us know if they heard anything, and then set off to track down his exes instead. 2 hours passed. We wandered around the shopping district for a while, but didn't encounter anyone likely to fit the bill. The shopping district employees didn't seem to know much about you either. There were a few who seemed to recognize him, but that was only because of his unique style of clothing. They didn't know him personally.
いただきます。
Itadakimasu! And so, since we were hungry, we decided to eat a late dinner out at the lake. The contents of my picnic basket were predominantly seafood, since that was what Kaguya seemed to prefer. As he ate his grilled sea bream, I stole a glance at him. Last time he was eating his food slowly, probably savoring it, which I took to mean that I was indeed correct. That's Detective T for you.
ひいさんはすごいな。
Huh?
僕より僕のことを知ってるみたいや。いや、実際そうなんかもな。
He popped a shrimp into his mouth.
めっちゃうまい。
I'm glad to hear it. Meanwhile, I had myself some bean stew. Not to brag, but it was sugoku oishii. Unfortunately, I have to disagree with your statement. It's just possible for me to know you. It's just not possible for me to know you better than you do. Only you can ever really know what you're thinking on the inside. He set his fork down.
ひいさんが前に言った相手が何を思っているのかわからないからこそ観察し予測を立てること。
Yeah, I'm just a bit better at it than your average Joe. But what matters most of all is the actual communication, like we're doing right now. I winked at him.
会話だけでええの？
Well, it doesn't hurt to hug and hold hands, too. I'm just saying, you know, just a little bit.
僕もそう思う。
Hold my hand. He put his hands on mine. Yeah! Hand holding!
僕も君のことをちゃんと理解してるんかな。
I would be the worst female protagonist in any otome game. Like, love interest holds my hand and I just like turn and shout to the heavens like, whoa, he's holding my hand! And they just stare on into this and it's like, what? Why is she like this? I am a disaster being. Are you suggesting you don't? Then explain how you're so good at getting under my skin. Golden.exe has stopped responding. That's what happens when they get close enough for the smooching. That's when my software crashes. But I like holding hands. I love hugs, and if close enough for enjoying hugs for long awkward moments, then cuddling is also allowed to an extent. But it depends. I have T.exe has stopped working before in occasion, but T.exe also stops working just when functioning normally from crashing because too much software and not enough RAM. So, but I feel that. I definitely feel that. And that's also a good response too. That's a very cute response. Alright? That's a cute response. Though we'd have to wait for you to reboot before we could get consent for any like other hand holding or forehead smoochies or what have you.
ひいさんはわかりやすいからな。
Hey, you're doing it again. I giggled. For the record, yes, people with amnesia may not know their own preferences. But that's only because you've forgotten. They're still in there, deep down in your heart.
心
Just look at babies. They can't talk, but they can definitely feel the full range of human emotions. They laugh and cry to express themselves to their caretakers. So why do babies laugh and cry? Why does laughter represent happy times and crying represent sad times? Why do we find some things good and other things bad? We can't know for sure, but doesn't it suggest we have those values ingrained in us right from birth? Put more simply, we can't reduce it to a binary of likes versus dislikes, or perhaps the closest word to describe it would be instinct. We're born with instinctual knowledge of what we do and don't like, and as you build up more and more memories, you hone who you are as a person. Or, instead of memories, perhaps I should say life experience.
なんかめっちゃむずいな。
I do have these conversations to myself sometimes. He smiled vaguely, somewhere between a grin and a grimace. Sorry, for what it's worth, I was trying to simplify it somewhat. Basically, what I'm saying is this. Even without your memories, you're still you, no matter what. When you forget about something, all you're really doing is putting it up in the attic. Even if you can't recall the memory of what happened, it doesn't erase the fact that it did indeed happen. At some point, you must have discovered for yourself that you enjoy fish. Besides, like I said, I'm going to need to put in effort to make you fall head over heels for me. Wink.
言うたな。そのための努力が今
So dayo. I'm going to give it 120% and figure out all your likes and dislikes so I can make you love me.
好かれるための努力か。
I shot him the finger guns. Pew pew.
せやな。僕もひいさんのこと知りたい。ひいさんのこと好きだから。
T does say wink out loud. Indeed. T also does the hey, how's it going? Lean on the bar and then immediately slips off the bar where she's leaning and jumps up like nothing happened. That's the kind of flirt that T do. Only not realize that I don't know how to flirt. What is this flirting? Am I flirting right now with Kagu? Is that Mrs. the bar and hits her chin on it. My sharp teeth puncture my lip. Blech. Blood everywhere. It's a disaster. And yet somehow still get a phone number? Wink wonk. He squeezed my hand and leaned in. Uh-oh. His eyes were locked on mine. Uh-oh. Then, right as our noses touched, he's so close! He let out a soft breath.
こういうところが素直でええよな。
His voice is so close. You do? I smiled nervously.
これは本能
No, it's completely intentional. So if anything, it's a product of reason. He promptly pulled back.
大丈夫。キスせえへんよ。
Okay, don't think I'm ready for that yet. I mean, I can live without a kiss for right now, but we're gonna have to kiss eventually. Not that I'm brave enough to say that out loud. Kaguya lifted his head up and gazed at the half moon hanging in the sky.
一応僕も思い出そうとしてんねんけどな。
Yeah?
でもわかんねん。思い出したくても頭の中にもやがかかってるみたいで、思い出したいのに思い出されへん。
What does it feel like?
無理に思い出そうとすると頭をガツンって殴られたみたいになって、それでも思い出そうとするとそこからまたプツンと意識がなくなるっちゅうか。
You lose consciousness, so you pass out on the spot? I'm sorry, I'm trying really hard not to laugh right now, and not because of the scene that we're in, but because I keep looking at Yar's message of misses the bar and hits her chin on it, and my brain's just like, oh, suddenly it's just, oh, you mean how Oz flirts? That's all I can think about now. Because he rolls so badly when he goes to exercise. You are funny, Yar. You're hilarious. I love you guys. You're all great. Oh, my streams would be so much more boring without you. Oh, back to serious mode. Here we go. God, that must be really hard.
大丈夫やで。
No, it isn't. You can admit when you're having a hard time, you know. Like I said, likes and dislikes are human instinct.
まあ大丈夫やって。
He smiled evasively. As much as I like to smile, it could be frustrating at times.
ひいさんこそ僕のことが嫌になったらいつでも突き放してええから。
Joke's on you, bud. That ain't gonna happen. Oh, oops. My screen went dark. For the walkthrough. Yeah, obviously protest. I prodded his forehead with my index finger. His eyes widened as if I'd caught him off guard. I narrowed my eyes. I take it back. It would appear you don't know me very well at all. If you meant what you said just now, then I'm honestly kind of hurt. Do I really look like the kind of girl who would just drop you like yesterday's news?
見えへんです。
Good. Don't let me hear you say that again. I folded my arms and scowled haughtily. That is, until I broke character and started laughing.
月が綺麗やな。
Definitely.
不思議やな。ひいさんと見る月はいつもより綺麗に見える気がするわ。
You're right. It does seem to be shining a little brighter tonight. Maybe it means we're in love.
そうみたいやな。
When it's a full moon, it's gonna glow so brightly, it's gonna laser beam down and suck us up to the moon. That's it. That's my headcanon. We're gonna get sucked up into the moon like a tractor beam. While everyone else was fast asleep, I was rereading the exchange diary.
ひいさん、うさばんはってなんかしまらんな。
I love his little drawings.
記憶喪失ということを今まで秘密にしていてごめんなさい。言おうかどうかずっと迷っていたけど、結局こんな形でバレてしまうだなんて本当に申し訳ないと思ってます。本当は初めて会った時にちゃんと説明するべきだったんですよね。もしも迷惑だと思うならすぐにでも消えるつもりなので遠慮せず言ってくださいね。って こんなことを書いといて、ひいさんは優しいから迷惑だなんて言わないということも分かってます。僕は卑怯者です。昨日のキスのことも本当はする気はなかったんです。ひいさんの気持ちを考えずに傷つけてしまっていたら本当にごめんなさい。でもまさかひいさんがあんなに取り乱すとは思わなかったです。こんなこと書いたら最低な男だと思われるかもしれないけど、いつも自信満々な君が照れてる姿はめっちゃ可愛かったです。
That is always like the best feeling for a character that's normally so like together and confident, and then they just kind of like melt into a blushy mess, and it's like, oh yeah, I've got the power, and they're so cute.
僕は初めて出会った時よりももっともっとひいさんのことが好きになりました。
It's the best fucking feeling.
あかんな。ひいさんといるとめっちゃ楽しくて、どんどんわがままになってるみたいです。こんな僕を止められるのはひいさんだけだから。ひいさんこそ本当に嫌な時は嫌だと言ってください。
Once I finished reading the latest entry, I set about writing my reply beneath the dim glow of the lamp. Time for bed. After I finished writing my letter, I closed the notebook and soon fell fast asleep. That night, I had a dream. Kaguya? Kaguya was standing out in the yard, looking up at the sky. There, I could see a crescent moon gleaming brightly. His face and profile was shrouded in melancholy, and it made me sad just looking at him. Why do you look so sad? Is there something on your mind? You know you can talk to me.
思い詰めることなんて何もあらへん。ただなんとなく心細いだけや。
Does the moon remind you of something?
かもしれへんな。
He smiled faintly. If the moon makes you feel bad, then stop looking at it.
どうして月を見ずにいられるんやろ。ひいさんは僕に思い出してほしいんとちゃうん？
Boyfriend is sad in dream. Red alert. DEFCON 5. Honestly. Immediately wake up. Run to his room. Check on him. Well, yeah, but unable to stand his probing gaze, I looked away. His voice was quiet, like a rippling lake.
ひいさん、僕な、思い出したんや。
Oh, that's so cute to picture. That's one of my favorite tropes. It's just the kiss fit until they giggle, until they're just like, stop, to just lighten the mood. Huh?
僕はこの国の人やない。
Is this actually? I was joking about the moon, but I was half serious because I always make the basis on their original story, and then it ends up not being that because obviously. But like, if he's from the moon though, he's from the moon, or he's from somewhere else in time, or maybe he's a ghost.
僕は
Yeah, moon dweller.
月の都の人や。前世からの約束によってこの世界にやってきた。
I'm gonna have to draw. I still have to draw the Sokka image.
この月の15日に
My boyfriend turned
あ
into the
の
moon.
元の国から迎えがやってくる。
I keep interrupting him. I'm a terrible girlfriend.
さようなら。ひいさん。
No, Kaguya, don't go. Stay. Kaguya! I awoke shouting out loud. Then I fumbled in the darkness for the clock by my pillow. The hour had just ticked past 4. At least I hadn't overslept like yesterday. While I could afford to go back to bed, I didn't really feel like it, so instead I decided to get up. Whew! I tied my messy bedhead in a ponytail and pinned my bangs back with a headband. Then I headed to the bathroom to wash my face. Well... Oh! Did he really just slam the door in his face? Whoa, way to go, Yurika! Fuck. Without thinking, I shut the door in his face. God, I'm an idiot. What am I doing? What do I care if he sees my hair like this? He's already seen what I look like unconscious. As a compromise, I took the headband off and brushed my bangs out. Good morning! Aw, he already left. I called out cheerful with one hand pressing my bangs flat.
おはようさん。
Okay, no, he's still there.
ひい
Can't
さ
go.
ん。今日は僕の当番なんやから。寝といたらよかったのに。
I would, but I had this weird dream and now I'm awake.
変な夢
A dream about you, actually. Yeah, I made him sad for real now.
僕
Tilting his head, he pointed at himself for confirmation. Oh, make something up. Okay, I'm not supposed to be honest with him, guys. That's what the guide says. I had a dream that you were Super Kagu Bear protecting the Earth from aliens, like it was some kind of sci-fi action movie.
うんそりゃ確かにしんどそうやな。
I know, right? I laughed breezily. The reason I lied was to avoid sounding clingy. Sorry to have this silly conversation with you first thing in the morning.
ええよ。
Oh, he ruffled my hair. Just then, his face lit up like he'd remembered something.
せや、僕のせいで変な夢見たっちゅうなら、お詫びせなあかんよな。
Oh? Huh? He took me by the hand and led me back into my room.
はい。ここ、座っとき。
Oh, okay. Why? As I lowered myself onto the bed, I tilted my head in confusion. How is he going to make it up to me in here? Something R-rated. Excuse you. No. It's a massage, right? He offered to massage my feet before when he first showed up. Oh, are you going to give me another massage? I thought back to the day we first met. Haha, my brain do remember things that are unrelated to anything important in real life.
んまあ、そっちのがええっちゅうならそっちでもええけど、
That's so
今日は
cute!
ひいさんの髪の毛溶かしてあげよう思うてな。
Oh my god, yes, brush my hair. That's adorable. Oh my god. Oh, please do. The comb and ribbon are on my vanity. I turned my back to him.
うまくできるかわからへんで。
I am excited. I don't mind. I didn't care how frizzy or wacky he made it look. I wasn't about to let this opportunity pass me by.
わかった。
Kaguya grabbed the comb and ribbon from atop the vanity, then sat down next to me.
ひいさん、ひいさん。
E? Yes? He patted me on the shoulder, and I turned to find him holding his arms out.
その体勢じゃひいさんが疲れるやろ。僕の膝の間座って。
I'm not gonna make it hard for you to brush my hair, though. It's really long. Praise the Lord and hallelujah. Okay, then. I tried not to sound too excited. I scooted myself over onto his lap. As I rested my full weight on him, the bed creaked. As he spoke, his breath tickled my scalp. With him holding me from behind, I could feel his warmth against my back. Oh god, this sure is something.
ひいさん
Yes? I didn't even intend to match her. He stared at me right as I was panicking internally, which causing me to yelp even louder. Oh my god, listen, I'm gonna fucking melt, dude. That's one of my weaknesses. That's a trigger for me right there. And not a bad one, it's a good one. That's an ASMR trigger right there.
三つ編みでええかな。
He grinned without commenting on my overreaction. Yes, please. My voice was barely a whisper. In the hours before sunrise, the silence was a bit different from the quiet of night. Not to mention it was early winter. The chilly air only served to enhance the tranquility of the moment.
ひいさんの髪めっちゃ綺麗やな。
Kaguya slowly worked the comb through my long locks. I'm glad to hear it, because believe it or not, I put a lot of work into it. Maybe not today, but most days at least.
このふわふわなんは地毛。へ
It is indeed.
え。生まれた時からお人形さんみたいな子やったんやな。
Yeah, growing up, I never quite knew what to say to people in response to that.
お人形さん
Yeah, I mean, my appearance is sort of unique, you know? My hair, my eyes.
おー確かに。その目の色も天然
It is. But I always hated my appearance. People used to tease me mercilessly.
こんなに可愛いのに
Children can really be cruel. They have trouble accepting people who are different. But one day I thought to myself, I'm only ever going to be me, so I may as well love myself. Instead of hating my weird traits, I'll lean into them instead. I'll love and accept myself no matter what. The things that make me weird also make me special. My eyes aren't creepy, they're radiant like gems. And ever since then, I've considered my appearance to be one of my best qualities.
ひいさんは昔からあんま変わらんな。
Trauma dump on him while he combs your hair. I mean, you know, listen. The most random things can instill trauma dumps, so as we all know personally. Yeah, it is an intimate moment. How would you know that if you only just met me?
うんなんかそう思ったわ。僕は好きやで。君の宝石のような目も、ふわふわとした柔らかな髪も、全部。
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
よっしゃ
の
できたで。
He placed a hand on each of my shoulders. Huh? Already? By the time I finished my little anecdote, he had somehow finished braiding my hair. I reached back, and sure enough, I could feel two perfect, neat little braids. Which meant I now needed to address the current situation.
もうちょっとこうしとく。
Yes? He peered over my shoulder, and I felt my face flush. Yes, please?
了解。
Oh, yeah, cuddle time. He wrapped his arms around me and held me from behind. Oh, but what about breakfast?
まだまだ余裕あるし、平気や。
Okay, then. Well, this sure is embarrassing.
こんなところ シンデレラさんに見つかったら
Oh god, don't jinx it. Come on now. Frankly, if it wasn't for Kaguya reminding me about the Cinderella situation, I would have forgotten about him entirely. Sorry, Cinderella.
約束まだ破ってしもうたな。
Well, Cinderella's not a morning person, so we're probably fine. Probably. Oh, we were talking about, boy, it'd be sure awkward if Cinderella burst into the room, haha. He finished braiding the hair, and now we're just sitting there cuddling. Kaguya buried his face against my shoulder blade. Sleepy?
まあちゃうね。ただこうしてるとめっちゃ気持ちええっちゅうか、なんか安心できんね。
Aww. Questions rose to my mind. What was he worried about? What made him feel more secure? But I didn't voice them aloud. They are desperate. You're just that good. Instead, I was simply willing to stay like this for as long as he needed me to.
Oh, そうだ。
Yes? As I was brewing our post-breakfast coffee, Cinderella spoke suddenly.
昨日の夜、白雪とあんたらの話してたんだがな。
About me and Kaguya. Instantly, I froze. Did he find out about our secret trysts?
あんた、記憶喪失なんだってな。
Oh, that. Whew, thank God. Right, of course.
ひいさんから聞いたんですか？
Kaguya shifted his gaze to me. Should I have kept it to myself? Cinderella has a lot of connections in this town, so I figured he'd be an asset to the search.
そうなんや。
つーか、そういうことならもっと早く言えって。
すんません。
Kaguya hung his head guiltily. That said, I didn't think he needed to apologize at all.
で、今はあんたの過去を取り戻すために元カノを探してる最中なんだってな。
はい。
んなめんどくせえことしないで、もっと手っ取り早く人集める方法はあるだろう。
Eh? Kaguya and I exchanged a look.
要は若い女を集めりゃいいんだろ。パーティーを開けばいいじゃねえか。
Ah, party. Yeah, that's what Cinderella's good at after all. Throwing parties. Where would we hold it?
ここで。
Koko. At the cafe. We're literally in a cafe. It's a venue. Cinderella tapped the table. Cinderella. I clasped his hand in mine. Oh, Cinderella, you're the best. You're so kind and smart and wonderful.
まあな。あんたもようやく理解したか。遅えんだよ。
俺の案だけどね。
I promptly pivoted to Snow White. Thank you so much, Snow White. I had a feeling you were behind it.
別に。
でもパーティーって費用はどないするんですか？
I raised my hand to volunteer. I'll pay. But Cinderella grabbed my wrist and lowered my hand back down.
俺が出す。この前殴っちまったからな。その詫びだ。
いや、別に気にしてへんから。
It's like Cinderella puts up a banner for the party and it says the sorry I punched you in the face party.
俺が気にしてんだよ。なんだよ。気に食わねえなら、はっきり言えばいいだろう。
He's too nice to say the word no.
そうやなくて、僕なんかのために
気にし
Ah,
ない方がい
dang
い
it!
の
I hit the button by accident.
この人派手好きでお祭り好きだから。
Okay, I need to go back and read what he said. I accidentally hit space too quickly. That's not it. I just feel awful making you go through such lengths on my behalf, especially when you're already letting me stay here. Okay.
本心は君のためじゃなく、自分が楽しみたいだけだよ。
That's very true. That is very Cindy. He would do that himself. Yep, that's our ow! I was late on the line delivery. I tried to chime in, and Cinderella rewarded me with a smack to the head. Oh sure, you'll hit me, but not him. That's discrimination. I rubbed the sore spot. I can make the food myself, so we'll save money on catering. And we need to decide the time frame and the party size. I looked from Cinderella to Snow White. Likewise, they exchanged a glance.
ま、やっぱり盛大にやらないとな。
Also, side note, what's today's date? Just curious. Nothing to do with dreams or anything, just curious. He answered with a flawless smile. Just saying. After that, we worked from morning until night, getting the party arranged. It's the thanks, Yar. Yes, that is indeed the date today. Thank you. Naturally, we had to run the cafe too. Busy was an understatement. In between mountains of party prep, we served our customers, and once the cafe was finally closed, we started juggling our tasks with household chores instead. The next thing I knew, I was standing outside, staring up at the moon with a trash bag in hand.
月がどうかしたの？
Oh, huh?
こんばんは、店員さん。
The next thing I knew, a regular from the cafe was standing right in front of me. Oh, hey there. I hastily snapped to my senses.
月を見て睨んでたけど、月に何かあるの？
I laughed vaguely and pressed a hand to my forehead. After the dream I had last night, you could say I had a slight grudge against the moon. What about you? What are you doing here?
君を待ってたんだって言ったら気持ち悪いかな。
It would be kind of creepy, yeah. I mean, for me? He averted his gaze awkwardly. No, it's not creepy. I'm flattered. It was my honest opinion of his affection for me. I guess I was aware of it the entire time, but I mean, it's probably the guy who asked for my number at the start of the route. That's not creepy at all. Creeping on a waitress when she's doing her job, it's fine.
そうなんだ。
Oh, God.
ありがとう。
I'm glad too. He's probably gonna take it the wrong way.
今日は随分と忙しそうだったね。
Yeah, we're throwing a party tomorrow here at the cafe, and anyone's free to attend. Would you want to come?
パーティーか。行きたいけど、明日はちょっと忙しくて。
Oh, okay. That sucks. You've been busy a lot lately, haven't you? As I recalled, the last time we met was when I went to the fish market with Kaguya.
でも、そんな時でも君の笑顔を見ると疲れが吹き飛ぶんだ。毎週のように通い詰めて、毎週同じものを頼んで、こうやって顔を覚えてもらって。
Ah,
I'm
very uncomfortable. But before he could continue,
ヒーさん
a voice called for me, interrupting him. Oh, thank goodness. Kaguya, what's the matter?
どうしたって。ゴミ捨ての帰りが遅いから心配して迎えに来たんやで。
Kaguya snatched the trash bag out of my hand and then turned to the other man.
彼女に何か用事ですか？お店のことでしたら僕が聞きますけど。
Oh.
ごめん。今日はやっぱりやめておくよ。
Saved. Oh, okay. Bye. Smiling weakly, the man walked away. Sorry, bye. Sorry, bye.
一緒にゴミ掘りに行こうか。
Honestly, kinda hoping Kaguya was jealous. I am kinda hoping for that. That's cute. Okay. He started walking and I followed after him. A long moment of silence passed. There was no chance in hell that Kaguya hadn't put two and two together by now. He must have realized that man's feelings for me and what he was about to say to me. A non-threatening possessment. I mean, you know, he can be a little threatening if he wants. I'm not gonna complain. Just a tiny bit. In fiction, it's fine. In reality, get the fuck out of there. But in fiction, it's fine. Sometimes we need a little thrill. That's why people like me and you watch horror movies, right? And now...
なあ、ひいさん
Yes, Kaguya? He came to a stop and I followed suit. I mean, listen. I agree. It's kind of good. Just trying not to sound like a total creep on stream and I'm not doing a good job of it. Meanwhile, the moon shone down on us, the same as it had the night before. And like always, Kaguya was smiling. Good on you, mate. Be true to yourself. Your shadow won't come for you then. But this smile wasn't quite the same as usual. His eyes glittered.
君にキスしたい言うたら怒る
Why would I be upset?
それはってこと
Oh my god. I mean, totally can. Oh my god, he just fucking did it! And he's like, oh, you're cool with it? Cool! Smooch! The next moment, he put his hands on my shoulders and pressed his lips to mine. Yup, well. Oh my god. I need a fucking minute. Boy! You just summoned the fucking demanding version of Kaguya here. Something wriggled its way into my mouth. I didn't understand why it was happening, but it happened anyway. Suffocated, I pushed back against his chest to try and get some air, but he grabbed my hand. Oh. Oh, fuck. Kaguya, I can't breathe. Oh my god. He devoured me again and again until I could scarcely stand. Yeah. Honestly, oh. The moment I could finally breathe, my knees gave out and I collapsed on the spot. My first kiss wasn't some innocent tongue kiss, it was raw and hungry.
大丈夫
Holy shit, dude. Kaguya, the fuck was that? Where did that come from? And how many more you got in you, bud? Fuck. Yeah, I'm okay. He helped me to my feet.
なんでやろうこんなことするつもりなかったのに帰ろうか
Yup. He smiled softly. Okay. My legs were unsteady, Mom Spaghetti, but I could still walk for the most part. So I took a step.
その前にひいさん
Are you gonna fucking pick me up? Excuse me? Huh? Yep. Whoa, okay. The next instant, he scooped me up into his arms.
僕のせいで腰抜かしてしもうたみたいやしな
Yeah, but you don't have to carry me bridal style.
いや
With his handsome face so close to mine, my heart fluttered in my chest. Especially considering what happened just moments ago. No, it's okay. I can feel my entire face burning right down to my collarbone.
なら僕の首に腕回して。
Oh, fuck. Sorry. Okay. Once I got a good grip on him, he started walking
こ
slowly.
うするとひいさんの顔が見られてへな。
You sure it's not ugly?
かわいいよ。
Fuck. Oh, kill me now.
ひいさん、
Sorry for what?
僕のせいでこんなしんどい思いさせて。
Oh, no, it's fine. Given our relationship, it was bound to happen sooner or later. It just happened a little sooner than I was expecting, that's all.
今日も一日中パーティーの準備に追われてたし。
Oh, that's what you mean. Nothing? I'm sure you must be dead tired. You've been working just as many hours as I have.
僕は平気やで。
You sure?
ほんまほんま。ひいさんと比べたらめちゃめちゃ楽やで。
Liar.
嘘やないって。それにほら、僕は男やし。女の子と違って体力があるんやで。
Don't make it a gender thing. How am I supposed to argue with that?
まあ、
Scowling, I pouted my lips in a show of disapproval.
帰ったらひいさんは休み。後の用意は僕が全部やったるから。
No can do, mister. Lest you forget, you're the VIP of tomorrow's party.
僕、
Darn right. And we need you well rested so you look your best.
せやけど、これ以上ひいさんに迷惑かけるわけには。
Kaguya. Like I told you, I'm going to make you fall head over heels for me. If I stop now, that'll never happen.
僕はもう振り向いてるよ。
Then I want more.
ひいさんは意外に強欲さん。
Damn tootin'. Maybe so. I turned away.
なら、
Hmm.
僕も自分のために努力せんとな。
We're both just trying to one-up each other one after the other. Such as?
そうやな。喫茶店に着いたら、ひいさんのために美味しい紅茶を入れる。
A cup of
Medokana.
tea? Perfect! I'd love a cup of tea!
うん。わかった。
Oh, Kaguya. I admired him as though he were the moon hanging above us.
Hmm?
Wearing his same old smile, he waited for me to continue. Let's give it everything we've got at tomorrow's party, okay?
せやな。
All right. That's it. That's a good spot. That's the end. That's where we're gonna stop it for the night. Wow, we got one hell of a smooch before the end there. That was good. Fuck. Hell yeah. Oh. All right. Well, hopefully the party doesn't go too terrible. I hope everything works out next week, and maybe we'll find out if Kaguya remembers anything. Maybe he is from the moon like I've been saying this entire time. Maybe I'll finally draw the fucking Avatar The Last Airbender meme where T is my boyfriend turned into the moon. But we'll see. We'll find out. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. But we'll be back next week with more Kaguya. And then after we're finished with episode 2, we'll take a break for another game and then go back to episode 3. But either way, that's gonna be it for the tea party tonight. If you're watching in the future, dominating chat again. Someone say something funny, something funny, something funny, something funny. Bye, Golden. You guys stay happy, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Have a great rest of your night, or if you're watching later on YouTube's, have a great rest of your time zones. Day, night, what have you, afternoon, it's all good. Just be safe. I hope you have a great holiday, or you have had a great holiday. And I love you, okay? Good night!